Hi guys. Well, today is not such a happy day, right? Because so many of you wonderful fans signed petitions, donated money, and the Sundance still exhibited that documentary. And reportedly to standing ovation. As a matter of fact, one outlet showed that it was a standing ovation, and that people were clapping, and Wade Robson and James Safechuck went on stage and answered some questions, and so all the work that you and I, all you wonderful fans from all around the world, did to clear Michael's name, spread the truth, show how many times Wade Robson had lied, Safechuck had lied under oath as well, and but offered a signed declaration that Michael never molested him. Wade Robson told so many people nobody ever molested him, but he's able to change their story free from any harm. Now, just to tell you what I've done, I told you guys about perjury. We know he's a perjurer, but is he a convicted perjurer? No. Okay. Obstruction of justice? Yeah. And also conspiracy, because I think him and James Safechuck and whoever else conspired to extort money from either MJJ Productions and or MJJ Ventures, and they were unsuccessful due to statute of limitations, which was always the case the first year they came out with it in 2013, all the way to the dismissal, which was the end of 2017. So you might as well call it 2018, because it was the middle of December in 2017 that Wade, which was the last one, was dismissed. James Safechuck was dismissed in June 2017. And the girl, that was just ridiculous, that was dismissed before that. So since they couldn't get money that way, and I guess Michael's name wasn't getting them jobs or getting them the notoriety that they wanted, they sued the estate and said, you know what, I changed my mind. After all, Michael did molest me. And the reason why I believe Safechuck was brought in the case, because a paparazzi caught James Safechuck going into a jewelry store with Michael. So let's make that all into a story. Let's make that into a story. Okay, and because we got video footage of you and Michael going into a jewelry store, so let's make that into he was buying you jewelry and you were going to get married and he was buying you a wedding ring. Yeah, Michael loved him so much that Michael didn't choose him to be one of the kids in his Moonwalker movie. Okay, and that was, and James and as far that was James Safechuck as well as Wade Robson is concerned. You didn't get the gig that Jamie King got, for Michael Jackson 1 and The Immortal. Michael Jackson 1, and you didn't get it from Immortal because Jamie King was the main person, even though I think you were in one of them as a dancer. But I don't know. I don't follow you like that, James. Wade, I'm not into your career all like that. All I know is that you didn't get the top job. And in 2013, you went on Matt Lauer's show and you said that you never forgot that Michael molested you. And you told that to talk show hosts. You said it in front of cameras. You said it for the 93 case. You said it for the 2005 case. And you even opened. You were the first witness Tom Mesereau picked to say that Michael never molested you, because you were so adamant that he didn't. But now that you want a whole bunch of money and you want to destroy Michael's name and image and likeness, a second thought, yeah, he did. Can I get paid? Can I get some money? Now, I want to talk about a few things, okay? Now, I wrote the Santa Barbara district attorney a letter saying, why don't you charge him with perjury, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy? I didn't hear anything back. I also called and left a message, to a guy named Magnagola. He found out that he was a part of the 2005 prosecution team with Tom Sneddon, who died in 2014 and retired in 2010, and Ron Zonin, who retired in 2011. He was a part of that team, but he hasn't contacted me back because maybe, in a way, he doesn't want to sue them or charge them with perjury, obstruction of justice, or conspiracy because maybe they're getting some kind of, see, in the court of public opinion, you know, we're being vindicated. So we're not going to mess with Robson and Safechuck because we like that they're saying Michael was a molester, because that's what we've been trying to tell you all these years. Okay? This is horrible. This stuff is horrible. 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 And I feel affected because I was in the courtroom. I was credentialed media in 2005. And I produced the only widely distributed documentary about Michael's innocence called Michael Jackson, The Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop. That was out to 50 million homes in Warner Brothers, Verizon Bios, iTunes. Okay, right at the death announcement. Please watch my live trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. Please watch them. And please watch the Michael Jackson Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop. Because I saw fans from Japan, from Holland, from the UK, from Australia, from Poland, all of them traveled to support Michael Jackson. And for us now to be crapped on from someone who was a part of our team, that Michael was innocent, has now changed his mind. Okay, let me keep going. Okay, let's talk about some legalities instead of me just complaining and just being mad. Okay, obstruction of justice. There's no statute of limitations when it comes down to children. So he can be filed. He can be charged with, they can be, because they purposely lied under oath because Wade Robson said he never forgot. He told Matt Lauer he never forgot. Okay? Perjury. Federal cases is 5 years. State cases is about 3 years. But if you go and live out of state, those years are minus. They're out. Okay? So I know Robson went and lived in Hawaii for a few years, because right now from 2013 to now is 5 to 6 years, right? So it would be out of the statute of limitations. But if you minus him living out of the state of California, maybe you have some a case. Plus, you know, there are always exceptions, because that's what Wade Robson and them sued on, was forget statute of limitations. Well, if Sneddon and Zonin are retired, but Magna Cola isn't, okay? But like I said, they probably like that Wade Robson is changing his tune, okay? A conspiracy. I think that Robson and Safechuck got together. Well, you got that little footage of you, the paparazzi footage of you and Michael going to that jewelry store? Ooh, we can create a whole story around that. Okay. Now, let's talk about the attorneys in this case, okay? Let's talk about the attorneys. First, it was Gradstein, who was also Quincy Jones's attorney. Isn't that crazy? Wade Robson Safechuck had this guy named Gradstein, who was both of their attorneys. Quincy Jones' case, Michael lost, ended up having to pay Quincy at least $9-point-something million because of royalties from the Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad albums, okay, that they used in the Michael Jackson 1 show and whatever else they used it for, okay? So they lost that case. But then later on, Vince Finaldi, his company, then they're the ones that Wade was, I don't know if they were co-lawyer law firms or not, but I know Vince Finaldi ended up taking a lead case, okay? A lead role in the molestation charge. Now, I do have something that I'm going to show you guys. Oh, please let me have it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn my camera around and show you something. I'm going to read you something from their law firm, okay? Manley, Stewart, and Vinaldi, okay? Let me read you guys. Okay, here we go. Manley, Stewart, and Vinaldi is California's leading law firm representing child victims of sexual abuse. The firm has represented more than 150 victims of clergy sexual abuse in California and hundreds of others throughout the United States. The firm also represented the plaintiffs in the $140 million settlement against the LA, which is Los Angeles Unified School District, which I attended, in the Marymount case, the largest sex abuse settlement against a school district in the U.S. Okay, that's very important. Okay, that's very important. And let me tell you why that's very important. Is because if you're suing like this, $140 million worth, you know the buzzwords, you know how to pull at heartstrings, you know how to make people who don't believe feel guilty and manipulate them into believing because it's just words, okay? Just words and testimony. You know, you probably did focus groups, all that stuff, to find out how do you give testimony to make people believe you, okay? So you got to remember they had years of, probably being coached and being practiced, because that's what they do. They put their witness in these scenarios, right? These mock trials, and they see how you behave. And so with doing all this, when they got ready to make the documentary, Wade and Safechuck, boy, they were good at telling their stories. Now, we know that there's good actors out there. We watch movies, we believe those movies, right? We believe the superheroes. We believe there's a Spider-Man. We believe there's a Batman, right? We believe that there's an Aquaman, who I thought he did a great job, by the way, okay? We believe all these movies. So this documentary is a movie of testimony. Now, I've been reading the stories. I've been reading like some of the news stories, not all of them, because I'm kind of mad, but reading some of the news stories, right? And I haven't seen any proof. Oh, Safechuck pulled out a piece of jewelry and said, see, this the jewelry Michael bought me. Because he wanted to marry me. He wanted me to have sex with him, so he took me to the jewelry store and bought me stuff. Michael bought a lot of people stuff. People have said that they have spent the night, slept in Michael's bed. Girls, boys, adults. Karen Faye even said she fell asleep in Michael's bed. It was just the hangout place. It was comfortable. It was a hangout place, and people fell asleep on the floor, on the bottom of the bed, sideways, but Michael would wake up and put a pallet on the floor and finish his sleep out on the floor if there was too many kids in the bed, because he knew. And it wasn't sexually driven. So far, there's no proof of any sexuality. And believe me, Tom Sneddon, he went all over the world looking for people. Tom Sneddon, he'd probably be mad because I think he flew to Australia and tried to talk Wade Robson, because Wade Robson's from Australia. And his mother and everybody into it. And they were like, no, Michael never did nothing. I spent the night in his room too. Especially the sister. She said she fell asleep in the bed too. And poor Michael, he's on tour. He's bringing girls up on the stage, hugging them, trying to say, I'm not into boys. I'm not into, kids. I don't do kids, quote unquote. So Michael's bringing all these girls on stage. We've all seen them, the videos of him hugging the girls on stage, because he's trying to say, I'm into girls. That's what he's trying to tell the public. But now there's a narrative. Now, if Michael really molested you, and then you had an epiphany that it was horrible and it was wrong, why are you keeping the jewelry? Out of a rage, I'd probably destroy it or throw it away, get it out of my face. I don't want to see it. Okay, so I haven't seen the documentary. That's the only thing I've been able to read that was anything substantial, but that could be a piece of jewelry. Now, I know there's receipts out there, so I'm hoping that there's receipts out there. And didn't Wade date one of Reeby's daughters? Didn't he date one of Stacy or Yoshi? And Yoshi right now, and she is, thank God, helping to support Taj in his campaign to make a documentary. And I wish more Jacksons would come out and help with that. I have notes here. Okay. Oh, and then afterwards, also Wade Robson was he was interviewed, and he said they asked him, "What do you think of the estate?" "Oh, I don't think nothing about him. Nothing." "Well, what do you think about Michael?" "This ain't about Michael. This is about giving other people courage to come forward." "Oh, really? Really? You're not mad at Michael when he's the only one that did it?" According to you. But Michael didn't do it also. I mean, it makes me so upset. Okay? It just gets me so upset that these people can say one thing, obstruct justice if that's what they did, but I believe they were telling the truth back then. Okay? But now that he needs money, or he's trying to destroy Michael's name and likeness forever, you know, so and also one guy who did Michael's audio work and all, you know, set up his TVs and all this other stuff, Brad Sandberry, I think his name is, Sandberg. I'm sorry, I don't remember your last name, Brad, but he wrote to Taj, and he said, "Look, I've been dealing with Michael for 20 years. I done been through the cracks and crevices of his house. I've been through his video collection. I've been through so much of his stuff. Always free reign. Always I can go in there and just look through anything." He said, "You never saw an inkling of anything. Never saw an inkling of anything that Michael molested a child. Nothing." And he said he went through, he'd just been in the house, everywhere. Michael never was like, "Well, don't go in there. Well, don't touch that. Well, hold on, wait a minute." You know, he said he always felt very comfortable doing that, okay? Let's see. Oh, and then, you know, Howard Weinstein, right? He's been, you know, accused of, you know, sexual abuse of women, you know, and he's going through it, okay? He's going through it. But I remember reading an article a few years ago where he said that they would create stories about Michael to bury other stories in the media. Because you got to remember, there's only really like 6 media companies, right? And about 4 internet companies. And they like control like 90% of everything. And the other 10% are little people like me and you and little fans that do videos. Thank God there's a way to get the truth out. You know what I mean? There's something, you know. So, so he's admitted to using Michael and making up things and using scandal, bringing it up to distract from something else. But I just find it like an affront to my work, to my research, from sitting personally, you know, and because when I went in that 2005 trial, I didn't know if Michael was innocent or guilty. I hoped he wasn't. I don't want anybody to be falsely accused. But after listening to the testimony, and the accuser's sister said, "I didn't know my dad molested me until my mama told me." I was like, whoa. So your mother put you up to all this stuff. And then I was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Davelin. She said that, which was the sister, the Arvizo's star, and Gavin Arvizo's sister. Okay? Now, if I make mistakes, sometimes I get so passionate, I talk so fast, and I don't know what I'm saying. Always check the description, because I will make corrections. Okay, I'll make corrections. But anyway, guys, thank you. It was not my petition, as I said in other live broadcasts. It's not my petition. But thank you so much for signing. Over 50,000 of you guys signed. You know, we need some help from the Jackson family members, you know, to help fight this battle, you know, because with Michael being sullied like this, it's going to affect all you guys. It's going to affect Janet. It's going to affect the Jackson brothers. It's going to the kids, the grandkids, you know. So it is a family thing that's going to be affected. You know, kids bullying your uncle's a molester, child molester, you know. And it hasn't aired on HBO or in the UK on Channel 4 or worldwide distribution yet. It hasn't aired. This was just a few people in an auditorium. Okay? And, you know, like I said, the people, Wade's attorneys, oh my God, they have been coached on how to present and how to say things just right and the words and all this stuff, because that's what attorneys do. They prepare their client. That's what they do. And if you are the specialist, the leading authority in child molestation cases, oh man, you know what works and what doesn't work. So I believe, I haven't seen that documentary and I'm not sure I'm going to watch it, but I believe that it's a heartstring. It's like, you know, their testimony, you know, with little bits and pieces of inserts of certain footage. You know what I'm saying? Of Michael hanging out. Yeah, Michael hung with kids because they didn't want nothing from him. Women wanted to have sex. Michael had the spotted body. He was ashamed. It messes with your self-confidence. Vitiligo messes with your self-confidence. Everybody expecting Michael to be the super sex symbol, the image, and all that. Kids didn't expect it. He had to talk to somebody. Now, I'm going to say this. Okay, I didn't know about Brandon Howard, neither did you, until after the death announcement. You guys know that I produced documentaries that Michael Jackson faked his death. With this kind of stuff, I don't know if he's ever going to come out. Okay? Now, with Michael faking his death, now we know why. The freedom, the Martin Luther King quote that's in Alive 2 and Alive 3, the greatest demonstration of freedom in the history of our nation, was the first message we got from Michael. Let alone on the first day, we got the first death hoax video, and we got on registered domains, Michael Jackson is alive, MJ fake death, you know, MJ is alive, Michael Jackson hoax death, Michael Jackson death hoax, which the estate bought, by the way. Okay? So now it's kind of like, do I promote that Michael's alive? Don't I? What do I do? What do I do? You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt Michael. I never got into this to hurt Michael. I always got into this to help Michael, to be a supporter of Michael, to do what I could to help him. But the family, come on guys, give us some more help, because we're trying. We as fans are trying. And thank you, Taj, and thank you, TJ, and thank you, Yoshi, but that's just 3. There's like, what, 30 of you guys? Okay, so we need a little bit more help. Taj is trying to collect money, and he went and talked to the estate, so I guess I'm deducting that the estate said we're not going to give you any money to do the documentary. So now he's got a GoFundMe page where he's asking for $777,000. And we know through research that Michael loved the numbers 7. The number 1, 7, and 11. 11, 11, 11. You know, we just watch the Alive trilogy, okay, of Michael Jackson docs. You will get so much from that. Okay? And so we need, Taj has only been able to collect a little over $26,000. He got a long way to go. He still got to get $750,000. So he needs a little more help, you know? And like I said, I have a lot of footage. I have lots of footage from the 2005 trial, but there were no cameras allowed in the courtroom. So it is the biggest fan-supported exhibition, I guess if I can use that word, in the world, you know, at the 2005 trial. All right? So anyway, guys, I think I've gotten all my notes. Let me make sure that I've gotten all my notes. Yeah, all my notes are there. So I will talk to you guys later, okay? So keep Michaeling, and thank you, Flash Nessa, for this bad necklace. I wanted, and I thank Shelby Sharivon for being the latest contributor for Prisoner of Fame. And I'll have some Prisoner of Fame news as soon as I have some Prisoner of Fame news. Okay, guys, so I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.